Jay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Moose episode 148. I'm killing Brock because this is the second time we've done this intro.
Yes.
And I still don't understand what this is.
We're going to explain it in a second.
It's a very good meme from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, an American classic.
I like to be considered as like a meme connoisseur. Never seen this before.
It's a very, very good.
It's very good. Just go
clip.
look it up on YouTube. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Game Moose episode 148. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Tuford, alongside the Broccoli Brock McLaughlin. Yeah.
What's up?
And
Garbage day.
And then you got a shooter guy.
Oh, I got a guy.
It's like, haha, you're taking out the garbage because it's garbage day.
Does he shoot him in the dick?
He shoots him through the garbage can.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty badass kill.
I could have hit him in the dick, but
Okay.
I think it just kills him.
you can't really see where it hits him. And of course, the ghost of the most, Drew McMillan's also here.
Hello.
I like how the fact that instead of saying anything, you just started waving as if people can see you're waving.
Yeah, well, I wanted to intro my hello.
I mean, it's certainly something. We're back, guys. We're
Craning
back.
my neck a little bit too much here.
After 2 weeks, we're finally returned.
We are back.
Yeah.
We are back.
Like the Phantom.
Like the Phantom.
Which Phantom?
The Phantom of the Night. Not the opera.
No, you mean just the superhero, the Phantom?
Yeah, the Phantom.
The dude who is all in purple?
With the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
that guy. Whatever happened to him?
That Billy Zane movie.
Bring back the Phantom. Billy Zane needs work.
Don't you remember?
Billy Zane's kids need to eat.
Don't you remember that
Billy Zane
cartoon?
work.
Because they had a cartoon based
They
on
did
it.
have a cartoon,
Yeah,
didn't
it was
they?
like Phantom 2049.
And
Yeah.
it played like after the Tick? Or
Yeah.
played around the
it
Tick?
was part of the Fox like Saturday morning stuff.
Yeah.
It was not like a smash hit.
Was it voiced by Billy Zane?
I really hope they brought Billy Zane back, but I don't think so.
Guys got to eat, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Billy Zane need work.
Apparently. So, of course, you are listening to the Game Moose podcast. We come to you each and every Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time over on podcast services around the globe, as well as YouTube as well, if you want to just listen to the audio there. If you like what we do, of course, please rate us on your podcast service of choice. Leave us a review. All that stuff is totally awesome and goes a long way to helping us out. Also, if you are listening to this on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff that YouTubers tell people. Coming up on today's show, we're going to predict the oodles of game announcements that are probably going to come this week from the Kind of Funny Games Showcase, as well as the Game Awards, as well as we're going to talk about what we're playing. And we're also going to talk about Fallout 76 in just a second.
You're dang right we are.
We are.
Holy cow.
But before we get into that, we got some housekeeping. So first of all, we didn't have, as most of you know, we didn't have a show last week, but we did have a show, a Side Ops episode, where I predict who I think is going to win the Game Awards. So if you're interested in hearing about that, there's also a video version of that on the YouTube page, so you can check that out as well.
Fun. Who's gonna win, Ryan?
Who's going to win Game of the Year?
Who's gonna win Trending Gamer?
Oh no, I didn't predict that.
Oh, there is no more Trending Gamer, right?
Well,
They changed it.
it's Content Creator of the Year.
So they're still racist piece of shit.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
PewDiePie's dad. I don't know.
He's not nominated though.
That's too bad. I wrote it in.
Well, there's also I didn't predict any of the esports people either, because I don't know any of them, or best student game, because I haven't played any of those games either.
What? There's a best student game?
There is a best student game based on high school.
It'd be cool if the Game
college.
Awards actually honored the awards though and wasn't just one big trailer show.
It was mostly just an excuse for me to talk about games. that
Okay.
came out this year.
And
That's
that's what Jeff does.
that was
He
the whole
just
spirit of the
fanboys
episode.
over Hideo Kojima.
But the reason why we're going to talk about the Game Awards today is because we didn't have PSX this year, because we didn't have Paris Games Week this year, because there were no real big announcements at Gamescom. I have a funny feeling this week is going to be huge for game announcements. So we'll talk about that in
The
a
leaks.
bit.
Are we ready?
But before we get into that as well, I do want to mention, as also sacred with housekeeping, for those of you who have been asking, yes, we will be doing a Game of the Year Awards show for the third year in a row. The Game of the Moose Awards will be taking place in 2019. So our first show after we come back from the holidays will actually be our Game of the Year show. We'll have more details as far as the date that's going to happen and when to look out for that next week, when we've sort of hashed a lot of that out. But look for that next year.
I need more time with that horse game that came out.
It's true.
Not Red Dead. That other horse game.
The horse breeding game.
Yeah, the horse breeding game. You never know.
Are you talking about the horse dating game?
No.
Where you
Wow,
date guys that have horse bodies and man heads? Is that dating sim?
Isn't that a senator?
A centaur?
Centaur?
A senator is a member.
Oh, right.
Okay, those are two very different
Yes,
guys.
that's a politician.
Oh, but politicians are just horses with human heads, aren't
That's
they?
also true.
But centaurs aren't really like that either because they have like
Torso.
a human torso, not a
Right.
human head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we've never actually seen one, so we cannot confirm or deny that.
I mean, that's how they're described.
I
The
mean-
real important question here is, how does a centaur wear pants?
They don't. They just let it all hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they were to wear pants, where would the pants go?
Probably in the back where the ding dong would be, I would assume.
So your
I
belief is that the pants are exclusively for covering
Now-
your junk.
Well, we don't wear just pants on like below our knees. We only wear it around to cover the ding dong.
Those are boots. Right? We call those boots.
Now, here's the thing, though. I believe, though, if centaurs were integrated into modern society, I think centaurs would wear pants. They would just design centaur pants.
But if they
Would they go like
weren't-
all the way across though, with the front legs and the back legs?
Yeah.
No.
I
No.
think so.
Why do they want to wear a cool T-shirt?
Well,
they could also
they have
wear
a
a
human
cool t-shirt.
torso. You jackass.
I feel like this is right
yeah, that's
material
right.
for a sequel to Bright. Like there could be a whole scene where like there's a centaur and he's like getting fitted for his wedding.
Well, you're in luck. Aren't they making a sequel to Bright for some reason? Also, you watch Bright. Thank you for admitting that.
No, I've not actually seen it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the only person here who's seen Bright is me.
Yeah.
Because my mom was like, man, we should watch Bright.
That new Will
And we ended
Smith
up
movie,
watching
Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Max Landis is a real talented guy.
Yeah, neither one of us really were.
I've loved all his past films.
You're not a huge Chronicle fan? Is that what I'm sensing?
Chronicle was fine, man. Chronicle was,
'Cause that
lightning in a
counts.
bottle for Max
That
Landis.
counts. Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Anyway.
But that was more based on the direction than the writing.
That's true. Anyway, speaking of things we don't really mind, Fallout 76. We got to talk about Fallout 76.
Oh boy.
Now, before we get into this, I want to preface it, first of all, none of the three of us, I don't think any of the three of us have played Fallout 76. Am I correct in assuming this?
Yes.
Okay. So we will not
Did
be.
you download it and just not play it?
No,
You
I haven't even downloaded
you
it.
haven't even downloaded
I don't
it.
want that fucking turd on my
Whoa,
Xbox.
okay.
All right.
Now, here's the thing.
Shots fired.
I want to preface before we get into this discussion. We are not going to do what a lot of other people I've seen on YouTube do, which is dogpile all over Fallout 76, the game, because none of us have played it. So we can't, like, from what I've been seeing and hearing from a lot of other people who played some Fallout 76, besides the bugginess and stuff, they're actually having fun with it.
You mean the
I don't know.
gameplay experience? You can't say bug.
That's what I
It's a
mean.
part of the gameplay experience.
You
just
must be
saying.
hearing from different people than I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hearing anything
Sean
good.
Capri will fight you about
Yeah,
that.
but Sean Capri likes lots of boring games.
Yeah.
But Sean and Capri and I have very similar gaming tastes.
Right. Bad games.
Yeah, I mean, if you like online survival games and you like Fallout, this seems like a good combination
Yeah.
for you.
This is also just this is just me saying it's not our place to judge the game itself because none of us have played it, so we can't properly weigh in on it.
My personal favorite though is Giant Bomb. They're like, we're not reviewing this. We're just no. We've got better things to do with our time.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they came out and said that.
But what is really interesting that we do need to talk about is just the situation revolving around Fallout 76, because we really don't see this too often, especially from a game like, first of all, from Bethesda, let alone any major game studio. So let's talk about what's happening with Fallout 76. So first of all, when we last recorded together, Fallout 76 was just coming out.
Yeah.
I think it was like coming out the Tuesday that we recorded. Since then, the game has been littered with bugs, and Bethesda has issued an apology about the bugs and say they're going on to fix a lot of the stuff. But it sounds like, for the most part, a lot of the stuff just wasn't caught in the beta. But then we got some information from Reddit where people are stating who bought the collector's edition that it was advertised to come with a canvas bag. It came with a nylon bag instead of a canvas bag. So when people ask Bethesda about this,
When you say it like that, Ryan, you make it sound like these people are big fucking babies. They're like, nylon, oh, I want a canvas. That was so much more important. But when you look at the photos, number one, the photos make it look like it's a really nice, like the style of bag seems really, really nice.
But on the advertisement of the bag, it looks very different from what people got.
Yeah, it looks like the difference between a $40 bag and a $2 bag.
Yeah.
Like this might as well
It's
be
really bad.
a reusable bag you got from like Whole Foods, you know, like.
Now, to be fair, I was not trying to pass judgment. I was just reading the facts.
Yeah.
I was reading the facts in a
I
neutral
happily
voice.
will. Nylon is a cheap material, and they used an even cheaper nylon. It's not like they used like a good quality like ripstop nylon. This is just like real flimsy shit. Yeah. I have seen it. I've seen lots of photos and videos of it. I know somebody who has it. They are massively disappointed. When you shelled out that much money and went that far to try to like, because people were like beating the shit out of each other to get the pre-order for this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I tried to get a pre-order in Canada, and I'm not even sure if we even got I tried on Amazon and there was nothing.
Well, Sean got one.
Right.
Somehow from a Canadian retailer, but yeah, they were very limited. I think you had to go.
I don't think Amazon.
I think you physically had to go into an EB Games store.
Yeah, I don't think Amazon Canada got any because I remember the day it went up. I checked Amazon's page and they didn't have a listing for it.
Yeah, because it was like what ended up happening with the collector's edition is it looks really cool because the helmet is apparently awesome.
Yes.
It's just that
the helmet was made by like a prop recreation company.
Yeah.
They did interviews with them at E3 during the press conference or shortly thereafter, and they're like talking about the process by which they made the helmet and how hard it was to mass produce them. They had never made these many of them before, but that's why there's a limited number, yada yada yada. One thing they didn't talk about was the bag.
Yeah.
So the best part though was the response.
The response which people received from Bethesda when asked about this. They said, "We are sorry that this was not what you expected to receive. Here's 500 atoms of in-game currency to compensate for that, which equates to $5 of in-game currency, which just it's something." So the main reason I wanted to bring this up, you guys, is the conversation I want us to have is imagine you, Brock or Drew or myself, we're Pete Hines. He's like the PR director at Bethesda. What do we do to fix this situation? What do we do to fix Fallout 76?
Send them the bags you promised them. Yes, you had the bags. The influencers got the bags. The bags are out there.
That's
true. They made the bags.
Just not for everybody.
Just not for everybody.
So here's my solution. Give them $8 worth of virtual currency.
Ah.
What do you think?
I don't think people are going to like that very much.
Yeah, because one of the things I was thinking along those lines was give people the amount the bag would have cost in virtual currency.
Yeah.
And pass it off that way. Because that sits a lot better than $5 because there's no way, as you mentioned, that the nylon bag to a canvas bag, the difference is $5 when in fact it is not.
It is not even close. And people spend hundreds of dollars on this thing, right? It was like $300 or something Canadian. Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Maybe people don't want virtual stuff. They just want the actual physical pieces.
They want that cool West Tech bag.
Because they don't care about the game. They just want the physical collection for their shelves.
Yeah.
To let people know.
There are a bunch of people that guaranteed bought that thing not for the game.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
They're just big Bethesda fans. So this is a real fuck you to them.
Yeah.
But more than the bag itself, like just the whole air around Fallout 76 is really negative right now. So what is Bethesda trying to do to turn this around, you guys think?
Well, we know that it took them a while to get on message. Did you? Can we read out the customer service response?
You can read that.
I will find it for you. Excuse me. You guys can.
I thought you were going to have it prepared.
I didn't have it prepared.
Anyway.
It's about. I love it too because you can't even buy with that credit they gave to the fans that bought it as an apology. You can't even buy the outfit with the bag in it.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. You mean because
the postman outfit, and he's wearing a bag.
Yeah,
I didn't realize the currency system in that game was so incredibly high.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's incredibly high so much as if you compare it to other games like the Assassin's Creed in-game currency or other.
Yeah, but you need to use the currency in this.
Sorry?
You pretty much need to use the in-game currency in this.
Well, I know.
Unlike Assassin's Creed, everything about this is a disaster.
Yeah.
Just a disaster.
Yeah.
But those people, Well,
because this kind of reminds me of something like No Man's Sky or Battlefront. Like, I think that as far as the game is concerned, Fallout 76, I think that in a year, when we look back at Fallout 76, like where Fallout 76 is a year from now versus where it is now, it's going to be light years different.
That's if the devs care about it. Like No Man's Sky, they actually cared. Sean actually cares about his game.
Yeah.
Where Bethesda, I don't think give a fuck about this because it doesn't seem like they care at all. They haven't done anything to fix the situation or fix anything that's going wrong with the game. They're just kind of letting it go. And they're like, whatever. It sucks.
Yeah.
They have other things to do, like work on a new Fallout.
Well, that's the thing, though. When you think about it, though, think about the Bethesda Game Studios timeline, though. There isn't a new Fallout game for at least a decade after this, because we know their next game is Starfield. That's about 2 or 3 years away.
Yeah.
It's a next gen only title, they said. Then Elder Scrolls 6 is the next game after that, which you would assume is 3 to 6 years away from then. So their next game after that will be Fallout 5, which is not like 9 years away, essentially 10 years away.
If they get a jump on it now, they can get those bugs sorted out by launch.
They have multiple teams now.
They have multiple teams.
Because they have a Starfield team, they have an Elder Scrolls team, and the Fallout team is probably moving over to Starfield right now to help finish it up. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I would like to read to you now. And now, a reading from Fallout from Bethesda's customer service. Somebody sent it. Like, this is kind of where I got started. Where this is why not only was what they did kind of shitty, but their response initially very tone deaf. So somebody sent an email to customer service saying, "Hey, what the deal? Why is my bag nylon? It says like on the website everywhere that it's canvas." And the response from Bethesda Gear Help Desk was, "We are sorry that you aren't happy with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about this. Bethesda Gear Support, North America." That's it. That's the whole response. And then the person responded with, "Can I get a response? Thanks." And then the bag included with the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition isn't correct. The bag advertised is canvas, but clearly is a much cheaper nylon material that doesn't look at all like the bag in the promotional for the collector's edition. And the fact that they did make those bags, they made several of those bags and gave them to some people, but not to the people who actually paid for it, is kind of shitty. That makes me really mad. I can see why people are pissed off. And then a little while later, they said, no, that response isn't correct. And that the reason was because they ran out of material. That was when they came back. They circled back and said, no, that person is incorrect. That person is a temporary employee and doesn't on contract, doesn't work for Bethesda.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But it was advertised as a material that it wasn't made out of.
And it was still on the website as of that point. Like, they had changed like the text copy, but the pictures and the sort of text in the image description still said canvas. So
I think that's the biggest problem.
I mean, it seems like a small thing, but when you pay that much money and you expect that much for that product,
yeah,
you expect to get it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a classic case of false advertising.
Yeah, like if you bought a T-shirt thinking it was 100% cotton and you got it and it was made of paper, you'd be fucking annoyed.
Yeah. I mean, when the material changed, the first thing they should have done, issued a press release saying, hey, by the way, this is actually going to be this now.
Yeah.
Which would then prompt like EB Games or Amazon to go change the description on the website to read the exact copy. Like, again, if just changing it on the Bethesda website, I think probably isn't good enough because not every website sees that. Like, it's not like the people who update the EB Games Canada website go to Bethesda.com all the time and check the description to make sure it's the same.
And we were seeing that everywhere, right? We were seeing people saying like, oh, like the Amazon copy hasn't been updated, or the EB Games or whatever retailer copy hasn't been updated. So, yeah. Yeah,
exactly. So, that being said, with the game itself, I think what they need to do with this situation is they've already apologized for the state of the game as far as it not being up to snuff, and that they're working on it. So there will be updates for this game. I think they just need to go quiet at this point and not talk about this game for another 6 months or until there's a new.
I don't think so at
patch.
all. I think they need to talk and apologize and say there's going to be something to come and fix this issue.
But they've already, with the bag, yes. Yeah. I agree with that. The game itself, they've already done that for.
No, I don't think they have.
No, I think they need to not do what No Man's Sky did. They need to be very clear about what content updates they're working on. They need to publish a roadmap, and they need to stick to it. Mm-hmm. And they need to be communicative for like, well, this isn't working out. They need to tell us why. Is they're just going to keep pissing people off. They didn't talk enough about what that game was before it even came out. They weren't clear on their messaging that this is not a single player Fallout experience.
Yeah.
I know that like Jason Schreier, for example, complained that saying like, they were not clear about what was going on with this game.
It's
So,
still also really weird too that this was announced like over the summer and then released this fall when it should have been like, I think that the conversation would be very different about this game if it was an early access game or if it was if just the beta was released, kind of like the Red Dead Online beta, like just release that first and then just have a formal release of the game when you know it's ready. Like I think them releasing the beta in October was very telling as to where this game was.
Well, no, it wasn't a beta. It was a BETA. It was the whatever the fucking
I know it was like what the full game was essentially.
Yeah, it was not a beta, and what betas are now aren't what betas used to be, and it was a promotional demo.
Well, actually, in a lot of ways, the beta this time around, the BETA, was more like a traditional beta than other betas in the sense that it was the full game.
Yeah, but it wasn't in so much as that they were not anticipating to take feedback from players who reported bugs and then work on fixing those bugs either before or after release. Yeah. They straight up said, no, we're not taking like bug reports at all.
Yeah, kind of like the demos for Dishonored or some of those other games. Prey had one too where it's like you play like the first couple hours and then the data carries over. And it's essentially the full game when you download it.
Yeah.
So all kinds of.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when people start leaving the company and starts talking about this game candidly and the making of this game.
Yeah.
I think honestly, they had a huge hole in their release schedule.
Yeah.
They knew it. They knew they had to put something out this year. And this was it. This was a scrapped mode for Fallout 4 that like wasn't going to work out. They were like, well, we got to spin this into its own thing. Like we need something, and this is the closest thing we have to something that's finished, and we got to put this out. And I think that's why we got what we got. Period.
Yep.
I don't think the engine is conducive to doing multiplayer in the way that people expect. I don't think they had enough time to rewrite the engine to do multiplayer in the way people expect.
Yeah.
And so they made a bunch of compromises. But the problem is they did not communicate those compromises to people enough. Yeah. They didn't communicate what the gameplay experience is going to be like.
And I think they just didn't have enough time to do that.
No.
Or at least they didn't hold like an event or something besides what we saw at E3 in order to do that. Yeah. I mean, it kind of explains why they talked so much about it at E3, but I just don't think, I kind of agree with you. They didn't talk enough about it. Because even like, I remember I was pre-ordering something in store. I think it was the Valkyria Chronicles Collector's Edition. And someone right behind me in line was asking about Fallout. And they thought Fallout 76 was a single-player game. Like a
they said
Fallout
that it
game.
Could be pretty much single-player, which it is very much not.
That's true. But then when I explained this to the person in line behind me, because we knew at that point that it was going to be like kind of like Destiny or something, where you can play it by yourself, but that's not the reason to play it. He's like, oh, well, that totally changes my mind about it. That's not what I was expecting at all. So I just think the message just didn't get out there.
I think they made the message unclear so more people would buy it.
Yeah. Well, it's also weird to have.
It's very false advertising.
Well, and to be fair, it's kind of weird to have like a Fallout game or like a Bethesda style game where there's no NPCs, where like so much of the story comes from the NPCs.
Very weird. And a lot of weird decisions all around.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing is ugly though, because as Bethesda is learning, like the internet will turn on you on a dime.
Yeah.
Right. People are still buying this game though, so there's that.
Well, it was on sale.
There was also like they kept dropping the price. Like
it went down to $35.
Yeah. That's for a new game. That's pretty drastic.
Now when people say that though, that happens every Black Friday whenever there's a release that's like the week of or the week right before Black Friday.
Red Dead didn't do that.
No.
But no, Red Dead was on sale digitally.
Not till like $35. It was like $10 off.
Well, that's different though.
No, not really.
And it is different in so much as one is a game that's doing well and the other is a game that's not. Right.
And you need an online player base.
I'd love to see the numbers on this, but like I would anticipate that they're probably not pulling the numbers that they had hoped.
Yeah, I think the word had gotten out after the beta.
The bad word of mouth is crippling. It will destroy you in the games industry. We know this, right? Time and time again, we've seen this happen. And I would expect that the value of this game to continue to nosedive, irregardless of the quality of the product and how it's evolved.
Yeah.
Right. There is already a stink on this game they will never get off. Yeah. There's nothing they can do to fix that.
Yeah. I'm still actually surprisingly looking forward to playing it at some point.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to play it now and kind of see what the fuss is all about as far as how how what the state of the game is now and everything like that. So I might do that over the holidays and check out Fallout 76.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm interested to try it.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still curious. And a couple of my friends have said like, oh, I really want to try this because like the formula for this game sounds like things that I like. I like Fallout. I like survival games. I like multiplayer games. And I don't really care whether or not it has stories or NPC or not.
Yeah.
And then I have some of my friends who are like, no, like I go to Fallout just for the story. This sounds like dog shit. I don't care. Yeah. And at least it sounds to me that the reviews are at least giving you the information that you need to make a buying choice for yourself. It's like a review can be bad and still let you know if it's got what qualities the game has, so you can make your own decision.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Anyways, so let's move on to some crazy stuff this week. Of course, this is probably going to be the last week where we're going to be able to talk about game announcements. Next week, of course, we'll have all the information about all the big game announcements this week. But it's weird because this year, there's no PSX. There was no, there was Paris Games Week, but Sony didn't have a presence there this year. There was no real Gamescom presence from any of these companies. So really it sounds like, from what we're going to talk about in a second here, the Game Awards and the Kind of Funny Games Showcase, both happening this week, are pretty much where we're going to get a ton of game announcements, pretty much all the game announcements we would have normally had at those other places. I mean, we didn't even get that many at XO18 either, so it's kind of interesting that we're going to get a lot of announcements this week. So what I want to talk to you guys about is I have a list of games, the games that are confirmed, that we know we're going to hear from this week, but also games that are heavily rumored, or I would anticipate we're going to hear. And I want you guys to tell me how likely you think that this will be.
Just first of all, before we get into this, I mean, let's just say that like the Game Awards have been hit or miss with game announcements, like with like big, like exciting game announcements.
Yeah.
Some years it's been a whole bunch of stuff like Elder Scrolls, right? Like Skyrim was the first, that's where it got announced.
Same with Uncharted, I think, is at the same show.
And then we've had years where like nothing. Yeah. Right. So Uncharted and it was just a logo, and typically that's what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah. So first of all, I've got some stats for you guys, so as to what we can expect. So the Game Awards specifically, 10 plus unannounced games will be announced at the show. There's an unnumbered amount of previously announced titles getting updates, but it sounds like a lot of release dates from what I'm hearing. It sounds like there's stuff coming to Fortnite and PUBG that are going to get announced. Like PUBG apparently is getting some Resident Evil crossover.
Well, we're going to see the season 7 of Fortnite because week 10 just finished.
Exactly. So I think we're going to get a lot of interesting announcements like this. The Kind of Funny Games Showcase, on the other hand, is an interesting one because this is like the kind of show where anything can happen. Because for those who don't know the story behind the Kind of Funny Games Showcase is that because there was no PSX this year, Greg on Twitter, who has a very large following on Twitter, reached out and said, hey, if any companies that were going to normally show something at PSX want to show something here, we'll host the show for you at the same time as PSX normally would have been. So apparently there's going to be 65 plus announcements at the Kind of Funny Games Showcase. Apparently it runs 3 hours long.
That is too long.
That's too much.
You have lost my interest. I will watch the highlights the next day.
Yeah, exactly. They're apparently it's going to range between indie titles and AAA games. In fact, multiple unannounced games, AAA games, are confirmed to be shown at the showcase, as well as unannounced indie games. So it sounds like a crapshoot. It could literally be anything. There's a couple that we know that are confirmed, and we'll get to them in this list. But I think there's a lot of stuff we're going to hear about. So here's what we know. So stuff we know that are coming. So Obsidian's game, we got a tease for it this week. First of all we got are a couple of logos and some music. What do you guys think that's going to be? Like,
oh God,
I have a theory, but and you guys know what my theory is. But
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know.
Isn't it Dragon Age?
No, Obsidian.
Oh, okay.
This is Obsidian. It's their last game with 2K. Is it 2K?
Yeah, like so 2K's like independent. I think it's called Private Sector.
Yeah, okay.
They're basically their indie publishing house.
It's basically their last Microsoft last game before
the
Microsoft acquisition.
So this game will conceivably come to PS4 and PC and Xbox essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
All we got were like some pieces of art that kind of look like old timey. Like one of them that's like basically like a grocery like advertisement from like the 1930s, and then the other was like this like the space lander thing.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a 1950s space like space movie thing, like sci-fi movie thing. So yeah, are you guys thinking it's a new IP? Because I have
Destroy All Humans 3. No, I have no idea.
They already made a Destroy All Humans 3.
Oh boy.
Here's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? This is an old Interplay license, so this is why. And I find it interesting that there has not been a follow-up to this game.
Okay.
Arcanum of Steamworks Obscura, right?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
Enlighten me. I don't know what that is.
That was a steampunk game that was sort of in the style of Baldur's Gate that came out, oh God. Well, I mean, obviously after Baldur's Gate. I think, Jesus, I've got the release date here, 2001. And it is like a turn-based, here, this is a screenshot of it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's very Baldur's Gate. Again.
Yeah, it looks like like an isometric top-down RPG.
But it has a setting where it's like a steampunk setting. So like it's like 1920s-ish technology between 1850s and 1920s. And everybody, but it has like the classical races from like fantasy mythology. So there's orcs and there's elves and stuff like that.
So right, but in the past, bro.
But with like with monocles and stuff like that. Yeah. And it mixes magic and steampunk stuff together. It was actually a really cool game, and I'm surprised it never got a.
It sounds like a cool idea. I just never heard of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the other property, I was thinking besides that, it kind of reminds me a lot of BioShock. I think there's a possibility.
Oh yeah.
That this is a BioShock game. We know a BioShock game is in development.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Take-Two 2K game. Essentially, it's being published by it. They could very easily have licensed the BioShock IP to make something like this. And we know they've tried to make a BioShock RPG in the past, not Obsidian, but 2K, because that was actually what BioShock Vita was supposed to be. Because y'all remember the announcement of BioShock Vita? Oh my God, it was great.
Well, that was and what's his name? Dude, actually, the guy who was working with BioShock, my brain farting his name, the creative genius behind BioShock was like, yeah, we're making a Vita game. And then nothing ever happened.
And then nothing ever happened because it was supposed to be like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
Where it's supposed to be like a strategy RPG.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could be easily make like a BioShock, like isometric RPG. Or
that would be very weird.
Yeah. If you're to do an RPG.
Or I mean, it could be a first-person RPG for all we know, because they also made like Fallout New Vegas and some other games. So, I mean, it could be like the other BioShock games, but have more RPG elements.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my prediction as to what I think Obsidian's new game is. I'm really interested to see what it is, though, because Obsidian sounds like they've been working on this for a while. Like since last year, I think they announced this. They're working on this unannounced game.
Yeah. Yeah. This is tough, man. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, it literally could be anything.
If it's an Arcanum sequel, though, I'm gonna lose my shit.
We also know that two of the creators of Fallout, the original Fallout, are working on this as well. I don't remember their names off the top of my head.
Yes.
So we do know because that's an old Interplay IP.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Tim Kaine and someone else. But yeah.
It all sounds like it could fit together. So next thing we know, we're going to hear about either at the Game Awards or kind of funny, I would assume, Dragon Age 4.
Yeah.
Casey Edison went on Twitter and mentioned this, and there was a big statement on the BioWare website, basically talking about how Dragon Age 4 is coming. We've known ever since Inquisition wrapped up, like the DLC wrapped up, that they started on it for right away. So it sounds like it's going to be ready to go for next year. First of all, I'm assuming we're going to hear about this at the Game Awards, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Probably not the kind of funny showcase. But are we excited about Dragon Age 4? What do you guys think?
Well, you know I love Dragon Age.
Yeah,
so
I'm stoked. Yeah. New Dragon Age is good. Dragon Age 2 is also on Xbox this month for free, so
that's the bad one.
Yeah, but still,
it's still all right.
Gotta hype people somehow.
No, here's my advice: play Dragon Age Origins, go onto the internet and read the plot synopsis for Dragon Age 2, and then play Dragon Age 3 Inquisition.
Yeah,
do that. Don't play Dragon Age 2.
Yeah,
that was a pretty bad game. But we know that, like, again, they worked on it for a really long time. They have a pretty solid engine. I think they have a I think they have a really good sort of like formula for success for those games now. If they just basically took Inquisition and the tech and improved it slightly and did a follow up to the story, then I'm be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's all they really need to do, and I think that's all we're really going to get, which is totally fine because again, they've already got that engine. They've got the all the RPG elements already developed. They really just need to develop the story and the characters and stuff, but or maybe some new environments. But yeah, I think that could make a game. Probably is going to be out next year. It's going to be pretty good.
They've made sort of like huge jumps in sort of the story. I mean, we found out that Solus turns out to be, who was from Dragon Age 3, turns out to be a huge character in sort of the mythology of the game.
Yeah, they left like a big cliffhanger at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, and we also found out that the Witch of the Wilds, that character, she's also turns out to be a very important character, and we're sort of finding out more about like the true history of the world. And we find out that basically like the mythology of the world had been like sort of like changed, and like the narrative had been changed to suit sort of like political agendas, and that the reality of what actually happened is very, very different. But there's still some more sort of mysteries, and like what are the Darkspawn really? What are the old gods really? What really happened when they went into the Golden City and corrupted it? Because like there are some stories that say like the Magisters, so like the whole story is like these ancient mages like basically invaded heaven, right? They went there, and it was sort of like when they went there, they corrupted it, and that's what created the Darkspawn. But in some other stories, the Magisters got there. Like we found like Corypheus, who's the bad guy from the last one. He turns out to be one of the original Magisters who invaded the Golden City. He's like, no, when we got there, it was already corrupt. So like, there's more to the story than we really know. And sort of unraveling that mystery of what really happened, that really gets me excited. So I really want to know what's going to be next in that game. So I'm pumped. Hopefully we get to ride some fucking dragons. Dragon combat would be dope. The dragons in the last game were super cool. Yeah. And the fact that eventually you had one as like an ally late in the game was pretty neat.
Yeah. So next up, Winter of Arcade. We got the announcement at XO18 that we would get all the Winter of Arcade games at the Game Awards.
Cool.
Other than Below, which you and I assume is a shoe-in, Brock. Other picks, I think.
Is that actually going to come out?
I think so.
They still keep saying 2018. 2018's almost over. Where else will they announce the release date for that?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I think it's a no-brainer that Below will be one of the games. But some other predictions I have for games include Undertale. The only platform Undertale isn't on is Xbox yet.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Undertale rocks.
The Messenger. We already know it's coming to Xbox at some point, but we have no idea when.
Oh, right. That Joan of Arc game.
Yeah, clearly. And Guacamelee 2 is another one.
Yeah.
Where it's on Switch this week. It's on every platform except Xbox.
Yeah.
So I think it'll come at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's part of this announcement or something else.
Is Winter Arcade free? Is that the deal?
No, Winter of Arcade is, they basically have they'll have a different game that releases each week. And if there's an incentive for buying all four of them.
Yeah. It started with Summer Arcade that went back years ago.
Yeah, but it's a curated list of games.
What's
too,
the incentive?
So it'll be like,
what was the incentive for Summer?
Well, you'd get one of the games for free as an example.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, if you bought them as a package, you got so much off that it meant the basic one didn't cost you anything.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're always like a curated list of quality indie titles.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm anticipating that there'll be quality games there.
The first year they did Summer Arcade, it was just like totally banging.
Yeah, exactly. We know a Yakuza new game announcement is coming to the Kind of Funny Games Showcase. That could literally be anything, but I wanted to mention the fact that Yakuza exists.
Cool.
We know a game is coming. We know NIS is announcing multiple games this weekend. No idea what. Literally NIS. One of the things I love about NIS is literally they could make anything. They're a publisher. They publish all kinds of weird Japanese games. It could literally be anything.
Yeah, that's a real weird one.
And last thing that we know about, and then we'll get into what you guys really think about the rumored stuff. MTG Arena is having a big announcement at the Game Awards, Drew. Who the fuck knows what that's going to be?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's weird that it's at the Game Awards. I think there's a possibility it's announcing it's coming to consoles and what consoles.
Yeah.
And when it's coming.
Yeah.
So, stuff we don't know about or is heavily rumored. Number 1, the Avengers. Possibly the Avengers 4 trailer. Possibly,
the Avengers 4 trailer is coming out tonight. Well, you're listening to this.
Yeah?
It is.
It's happening?
It's Monday.
Oh, they actually confirmed it?
They haven't, but it's confirmed.
Oh.
It's confirmed Monday night.
Oh, perfect.
Brocky's in the know.
It's coming out for Monday night.
Do we know the title?
No. It'll probably show the title at the end of the trailer.
Well, that's why we knew that it was going to happen this week. At some point, because next week we're releasing a bunch of companion books for the movie or comics, I think, that'll have the title on it. So they have to release what the title of the movie is before that.
It had to come at some point. And the reason why they held back on the title is because the title is a direct spoiler for the previous movie, right?
If that's what they said, I don't know how it would be. I really don't. It's heavily rumored to be Annihilation.
Really?
It's very heavily rumored to be Annihilation.
I think it's going to be called Avengers Infinity Time Travel. We changed all the past and everything's fine now.
We're going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
All over again.
Everything's cool. Spider-Man's not actually dead.
So the reason I bring up the Avengers, the Russo brothers are presenting something at the Game Awards. Could it possibly be the Avengers game, do you guys think?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah?
Most
That's
likely.
who's Square working on this?
Square.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Which is a weird choice.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, they have the
It's
Marvel
Crystal
license
Dynamics.
for a lot of the Marvel stuff now.
It's Crystal.
Yeah, it's Crystal
It's a
Dynamics.
weird choice.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be weird how that game works because you're going to play as multiple Avengers.
I
It'll
keep
be
getting-
like Tomb Raider, but it's apparently
I hope
going to
it's
be like
better than the
a
last Tomb
multiplayer
Raider.
game.
I keep getting ads for the fucking the Rift Avengers game everywhere.
The what? Oh, yeah,
Oculus
yeah,
Rift
yeah.
Avengers
Yeah,
game?
yeah.
It's like, Jesus
No
Christ.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up, Alien Blackout, the game that is heavily rumored, not confirmed yet. Pretty much a shoe-in though, I think, Drew.
Yeah.
The game that Kojima was tweeting about, Kojima basically confirmed it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's actually a thing that's happening this weekend. Same with Mortal Kombat 11. Our boy Ed Boon pretty much leaked.
But there's
that
some
this
Killer Instinct thrown in there for good measure.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that's all about. but
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
haven't.
find
First of all,
out.
we haven't heard a lot from KI in a long time, and also NetherRealm's been very, very quiet since
Injustice 2
Injustice
last
2.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Injustice 2 was
Killer
just
Instinct
last year.
times Mortal Kombat.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, they already have the Mortal Kombat engine from 10.
Yeah.
And then that they use for Injustice.
Yeah.
They can just.
and they really, really polished up for Injustice because Injustice 2 looked
Ruled.
hot.
Yeah.
And most of the characters got all of their balance tweaks in 10. So I think that they only really need to balance them against any new characters they add. So
Yeah.
I think that's a shoe in. Now for the crazier ones. We're going to get crazier as we get along. Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell's getting announced.
Is Splinter Cell happening?
Splinter Cell's happening.
Yeah.
It's the
Game
only-
Awards. It's coming to the Game Awards.
It's the only game on the Walmart Canada leak that has not been announced yet.
Splinter Cell at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're actually correct. I think it's actually finally fucking happening. Next up, Borderlands 3. What do you guys think? Is it
Hopefully.
happening?
I want it. I want it real bad.
Randy Pitchford keeps just tweeting out tweets, and all of them contain the number 3 in them.
I hope
It's happened all
so.
week.
I've been
Randy
waiting for
Pitchford's a weird
Borderlands
dude.
3 for like forever,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that game is. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if it just ends up being just really heavily iterative. It's just like, hey, here's Borderlands 2, but with like more story. I'll be really
The
disappointed.
best part about it is
Yeah, I
they
don't want
announced that
I don't
game
want
like,
Tales of the Borderlands 2.
the best part is they announced that game like 5 years ago. Like Borderlands 3, because they're like, we're just starting to gear up the staff for it now, guys.
Well, it came out, and Borderlands 2 came out, and they said, yeah, we're not working on Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, are you fucking stupid? This is the hottest game right now. Like, why aren't you, like, sure, I get that they didn't want to be the Borderlands studio, but they had to, like, it would have made sense
Well,
to
they
just
had
keep pushing on
Battleborn
it.
coming. Like that's what they wanted to promote, I guess.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of story to tell.
It's also crazy that we haven't had a new Borderlands game since Borderlands the pre-sequel, which was in 2013.
Yeah.
So it's about time.
It's been a long time.
Metroid Prime 4. Do we think it's happening
No,
at the
I
Game
don't.
Awards?
I haven't heard anything about Nintendo
I don't.
coming in.
That doesn't seem like
Reggie
Nintendo's-
has confirmed there will be Nintendo announcements and that he will be there.
It doesn't seem
Probably
like
Smash
Nintendo's
shit.
style, though. Like, it doesn't seem like their style to
No.
announce a title at not their own event.
But
I'm not saying it's
they did
impossible,
that with Bayonetta at the Game Awards last year.
but again, Bayonetta is not their game.
Yeah, and Bayonetta's
Well,
already
they're
been out.
publishing it though.
Yeah,
It's already out.
No, Bayonetta 3.
yeah.
They announced it last year at the Game Awards, and they're publishing that game.
Again,
So it's a
But
first party
not
game.
their
a franchise that's that close to them. I'm saying it doesn't seem likely. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem
I would
likely.
very doubt
Because I've
Metroid would be there.
seen a lot of hints.
Yeah.
From Reggie specifically that point that it is actually going to be there.
All right.
So
All right.
I'm thinking it'll probably be there. Prime Trilogy, to add on to that, I think is actually happening too.
Okay, I
Because-
can see that
because,
happening
like-
over a Metroid 4
Because
announcement.
I think it's going to come down to they'll probably do what they did for Bayonetta last year at the Game Awards, but with Metroid Prime 4, where they announced like who's developing it, the release date, and oh by the way, Metroid Prime Trilogy is coming in a couple months.
Yeah.
Which is what they did for Bayonetta last year, whereas they announced Bayonetta 3, and by the way, Bayonetta 1 and 2 are out in 2 months. So, next up, anything else Nintendo related, do you think? I mean, for the most part, I think probably no, but some people keep saying, oh, there will be a new Smash Brothers character. You better believe there's going to be no new Smash Brothers
No,
No.
we already know the full roster.
No, I meant for like the DLC characters.
Oh, Pikmin.
But they already have a Pikmin guy. They have Olimar.
No, like an actual Pikmin,
Pikmin 3.
like a red Pikmin.
4. Pikmin 4.
No, a red Pikmin in Smash.
Yeah. The other game I was thinking
Pikmin 5.
we could see
They skipped 4.
Star Fox Grand Prix.
okay.
Where the fuck is that game? That's the retro game that we heard rumors about forever.
Yeah.
That sounded like it was supposed to be at E3, but then ended up not being at E3.
Yeah. Who knows what Retro is doing at this point?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Next up, with PSX out of the way, what do you guys think Sony's going to do? Last of Us, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima?
They have something with Rocksteady,
Anything?
don't they?
Yeah, so Rocksteady's game apparently is going to be announced at some
Nope.
point.
But not at the Game Awards.
Not at the Game Awards.
They confirmed that it will not be announced until next year, and it's not Superman.
Yes.
I don't know why anyone would want a Superman game, though. I don't get it.
I want a Superman game. I just want a
Okay.
good Superman game.
Because, Brock, in the last Superman game, the final boss was a tornado.
I know this. We talked about this.
So that's why
Superman's just a really hard video game character because he's so overpowered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense. Like, you can't fight baddies.
Like we talked about it before, I think the best model for Superman would be a Telltale game, surprisingly, or that style of
Yeah.
game, because that takes that out of the equation.
Yeah.
Because it's
But I don't need
following the
another-
Superman story. It doesn't matter how powerful he is.
Green Arrow game would be fucking awesome.
That'd be cool.
If you're going to go DC, Green Arrow, The Flash would be really hard. But I'd really be into Green Arrow.
I mean, I think you could do these things, though.
Sure, you can do anything, man.
Yeah.
There's lots of source material.
Just where the state of video game technology is such that, what we thought was impossible is pretty doable now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's quote that.
All right.
Okay.
Next up,
Making
Gears
the
or Halo? Do we think anything about Gears or Halo?
Definitely not Halo.
No, not Halo for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Gears. I don't know.
Maybe.
Gears still sounds very far off.
It's
though,
supposed
right?
to come out next year.
I mean, they need it
Maybe
to.
we'll hear more Crackdown 3 garbage.
Ugh,
This
yeah.
is why, again, I ranked Microsoft this low, because I said we're going crazier, and there's still more crazy.
Maybe
ones
they'll
out there.
announce the Gears of War movie officially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about this one?
Funko Gears.
Final Fantasy VII remake. Are we going to see Final Fantasy
No.
VII remake this weekend?
No.
All right. Final Fantasy 16. Are we seeing Final Fantasy 16 this week, guys?
No.
No? I don't think so either. Bubsy Paws of Fury.
Maybe.
Do we,
Probably.
will we see that
It'll
this
probably
week?
be at the Kind of Funny show.
It probably will be, actually. Because I think Bubsy on Twitter has confirmed that we'll see something. Last but not least, guys, what is THQ Nordic doing?
Making shitty games?
Yeah. I don't know.
They have 35 unannounced games. Are they going to announce one of them?
Darksiders 4.
The final one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill this
I
franchise.
mean, it will be the final one because there will be out of Horsemen at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
Although, actually, I think there will be a Darksiders 5 where you play as
All 4.
of them.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that was always the natural end game.
yeah.
So,
Gotta get that money.
so nothing from Volition or any other.
Well, Volition just hired back the guy who was the lead designer for Saints Row the Third, I think.
Well, no, the lead designer is the on Saints Row the Third. Works at Ubisoft. He directed Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
One of the big minds behind
One of the
Saints,
big ones, yeah.
Saints Row just came back to Volition. So, yeah.
So those are all the things we kind of think we're probably going to see at the Game Awards and the Kind of Funny Games Showcase. I'm really excited to see what's going to get announced this week.
Maybe that drunken guy will announce his new game.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph Ferris,
Yeah, he'll fly in.
he is a
from
presenter
Sweden.
at the Game Awards.
I think A Way Out will be considered one of the worst games I played this year.
But it's nominated for 2 awards.
It's awful.
For the
Yeah,
Game Awards
no.
awards, but not our awards.
Yeah, not ours. Maybe some Radzies, but it's not winning any awards in my book.
Brock, you know,
And I played a lot of shitty games this year because I like playing shitty games.
Yeah.
That game fucking sucks beyond belief.
I mean,
it is a painful 6-hour experience.
I mean, I did play Metal Gear Survive this year, guys.
you liked it
Oh,
though.
yeah, that's right.
You talked
No, no.
about liking it.
I never said I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't as terrible as I would have expected.
I'd rather douse myself in gasoline than have to sit through
But
the game again.
To be fair, Metal Gear Survive was probably the worst game I played this year, guys. I don't know.
Huh.
Fair.
Yeah, all right.
It was
fair.
still probably the worst game I played. I played a lot of good games this year. I
Yeah.
played a lot of bad ones.
I still have a lot of good games that I need to play.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of games on my list that I haven't got to yet.
Speaking of games we've been playing, segue. Let's talk quickly about the games we've been playing. We've been running a little bit long, so we'll kind of keep this shorter than the last couple of weeks. So, Drew, I'm going to go your way first. What have you been playing?
I finished Hitman 2.
Finally? It
Finally.
happened?
Well, I mean,
Well, the last time we talked, you were in the prologue. And now,
yeah, no, I finished it. There are only 6 levels in this. I'm presumably more are coming. It is a really, really, really great game. it is like the improvements they made, like the level design in this game is like second to none. Is top fucking notch. The different like assassinations that you can do, and like the way the loops on the people change based on who gets killed in what order, and different things that you trigger, and the sort of the secrets in this stuff are really, really great. The story is completely boring and doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know why they did what they did. Like, there was this whole thing, like, it turns out that like you were working for the ICA, but it turns out like that the people that you were killing all were connected, and it turns out that they were all being initiated by some guy named the Shadow Client, and the Shadow Client, I don't even know who that is. Because by the end, I was going after a guy called the Constant and something about the art. I don't even know what happened. Like, I don't.
It sounds like you're kind of all over the place.
I don't get it. Like, and I'm like, in the end, the last mission, the two people you're assassinating are two people you've never heard of before, right? Like, they had an opportunity to set up like a villain and to have like a payoff, but it ends up being like, oh, these two people work for the Ark Society, and the Ark Society are really who we're after, and you have to kill these two people by infiltrating the Ark Society, and you're like, what does this have to fucking do with anything?
Yeah.
Again, the levels are really, really good. There's a suburb level that gives the old suburb level a run for its money. It's very fun. Like, it's a really cool sort of twist on the formula for the game. The Mumbai level is really awesome. Same sort of thing. Like, super, like it's like maze-like, and like the streets are like packed with people, but then of course, then they're like, you're in like the slums, so there's people like bad guys coming after you. There's like gang members who are keeping an eye out for you and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I really, really loved this game. Really, really hated the story, and like then it ends on a cliffhanger that feels really dumb and completely unnecessary.
To keep the carrot on the stick. They want you to come back for more.
They didn't have to do that though.
But they want you to come back when that Sean Bean DLC comes out.
It is out. He was the first elusive target.
Oh, okay.
I really wish they had done a better job of, and they failed to do it in the last game too, giving greater context to why these things are happening in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Other than just going like, all these people are connected, and then like just having like an exposition thing about why they're connected, not like actually showing you in the game what the hell's going on.
Exactly.
So, really fantastic. I like if you like Hitman at all, play this game.
Yeah, I mean, it still sounds you had like a lot of fun with it. It's just the story is just.
I'm not done. Like, I'm gonna go back and do. I've already started going back to do like the levels again to get like to do the different types of assassinations, follow the different stories, get the different location masteries. Like, I'm excited to do that, and it's really fun. Like, it still wants me to keep. I still want to keep playing it, but I really don't care what happens in the story next. Sincerely, I just want more levels, which is weird for me as a person who like is really drawn to like the narrative part of the game. But like, that's the thing, like each level in and of themselves, there is its own narrative going on inside it. Yeah. Like,
almost like each level is like its own little self-contained story almost.
Yeah. And they do a great job of like, again, telling the stories environmentally and stuff like that. Like, they could have done it all without and like the cutscenes in between are like slideshow style cutscenes too. They really suck. God. It's not actually like, it's just like slideshow with like VO. It's really bad. That's
really weird.
Yeah, it's like people standing in the scene, but instead of it being full motion video, it's like still with like.
It was like that in the last Hitman game too.
Yeah,
and it was really weird.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
It was really bad.
Yeah, it was like, guys, if you like, you don't need to do this. Like,
I can't get into Hitman to save my life. I find it way too repetitive.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You do have to be very patient
and slow.
Yeah,
it is
slow. It is intentionally
I got
slow.
really distracted.
Yeah. At least it's not Absolution. I went back and played a little bit of Absolution. Whoo, that game is bad. Yeah.
But that was the one everyone said was the good one.
No, it's not. It is 100% not. If anyone tells you it's the good one, they're wrong. Blood Money is the best one. Absolution is like, that was the one where like they took the open worldness out of it and made it like a lot more linear again. Like the first mission of Absolution is you are killing, was it like 9 sexy nun assassins who are sent after you. They were like, they're dressed up as nuns, but they're wearing like latex. Ooh. It's really fucking dumb. The whole game has this like gritty sort of like aesthetic to it. It's terrible. It's a bad game.
Nice. Rock?
I played a lot of games since we've been off, and I've had a bunch of days off. Here are games I downloaded and proceeded to play and then quickly delete off my Xbox. In no particular order. Grip, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Drunk Foo, Hello Neighbor, Ollie Ollie 2, and Super Volley Blast.
But Brock, you already told us before this week that Hello Neighbor is a bad game. Why did you download it again?
Because I was going to give it another go. It is a piece of flaming turd. So actually, there's a lot more games I didn't like. Oh, Bendy and the Ink Machine, I was very stoned on edible and kept playing because I thought it was going to get better. It didn't. It didn't.
No.
It didn't at all. So then I played a bunch of Forza Horizon 4. And then it's week 10 of Fortnite, which is our final week of week 6. So I finished all the challenges for that. Wrapped that up, done with that game, got the moth outfit I wanted, and
Wait, it's over? You're done with Fortnite forever?
well, till
No,
season.
no, it's happening.
The new season starts.
You heard it here
in
first.
a week and a half.
First, ladies and gentlemen, Brock has finished Fortnite.
I
Never
need to
going
be
back.
finished with this game. It takes up too much of my time.
Yeah.
But it was a great season. It was fun, and then I'm almost done, like halfway done Pokemon.
Nice.
So I'm working my way through that. And Pokemon rules, I'll talk about more next week probably.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Let's Go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
it's just a
'cause, like,
reskin.
You thought I was crazy when I said that it was actually good.
It's
like, really
no, I
fun.
didn't think you were crazy. It's just a reskin of Pokemon Yellow, pretty much.
But that's
it's
all
a fun
I
little
wanted.
game.
That's all I wanted.
Are you playing Eevee?
I'm playing Eevee.
Yeah.
I don't like the Pokemon choices I'm getting. Like a lot of bird and grass types, neither which I like at
But
all.
that's what you get
I'm
towards the
surprised.
beginning of the game, though.
No, wait. You don't like grass types?
No, not one. I know I like grass, but not those grass types, man.
See, I'm very surprised.
no.
No, but
I have a dream team right now. I got Charmander, Squirtle, Snorlax.
You have Charmander and Squirtle.
Yeah.
How do you get Charmander and Squirtle?
You-
catch them in the wild.
No, I got given them.
Well, you can get them given
if
to you.
you
as well.
catch like 50 Pokemon, someone gives you a Charmander. If
Well,
you get 60, they give you a Squirtle.
Yeah.
But in the original game, you could not get without trading, right?
Yeah.
You could not get one of the original 3 without trading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this time you can.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that kind of
can get
shoehorned you.
Eevee is so OP'd in this game. It's ridiculous. I had to get rid of
Well,
Eevee.
that's also like Pokemon Yellow, where like the Pikachu you get at the beginning,
Yeah. It's
evol-
so
like levels
ridiculous.
differently, but you can't evolve your Pikachu or Eevee.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't give
No, you
it like
can't.
a Psychic Stone and make it an Espeon or whatever?
No, but what it does,
If you
the
catch an Eevee in the wild, you can though.
yeah,
But I have a Raichu and it's fucking awesome.
yeah, because also your Eevee, the Eevee that you start with, as an example, will learn all the other elemental abilities
Yeah.
as it progresses later on in the game. So you can get like all the other Eevee evolution
Yeah, my
abilities
Eevee
with your
uses,
standard Eevee.
My Eevee uses like electric, fire. It has everything. It's
Yeah.
fucking maxed out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice,
it's
nice.
I have to agree with you. It's really good. Again, if it's you like Pokemon Blue, Yellow, or Red, it's just those games again.
It's
but with-
stupid easy, so I'm going on my way to make it harder for myself.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's-
playing without the Eevee itself makes it easy. It makes it tougher.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like, again, it's the Pokemon experience I was expecting when they announced it.
And it's only got the 150 original Pokemon, Gen 1.
Yeah.
So that's good, because I don't know any others.
No
But I know
Mudkits.
like Gen 2 and I guess 3, but that's when I really fell off.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy there's just Gen 1.
Yeah. And then as for me, I've been playing a little game called Dead Cells this week, guys.
Ooh,
I somehow missed it when it came out. Totally awesome. I'm in love with this game.
Yeah, I really do want to play
I
that.
have it downloaded, never played.
Yeah. I don't know if it, knowing your style of game, I don't know if it would be a game you're going to really like. Because it's a roguelike Metroidvania game.
I'm getting into
So
this
you're
now.
like, that's true. You are like, you're more open to them now.
I am.
And it introduces a lot of Metroidvania elements. Like that's how you get like basically progress as your character dies over and over again. But you literally lose everything and have to start basically from scratch when you die. So yeah, it's actually a pretty tough game, but I love the combat in the game. I love the artistic style. The story is really weird, but it's actually got some really great funny moments. So yeah, I really love Dead Cells. I can't believe I slept it on it for so long, but I'm pretty close to beating it. But I'll talk about that more next week. And for the most part, I've played a lot of Red Dead this week, trying to have a conversation with Brock about Red Dead eventually. But every time I play that game for more than an hour, I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. It's tough.
It's slow.
I love the story though.
It's slow.
So I mean, I'm in for the story.
I drink a lot of coffee when I play.
But man, like I'm not at like I heard the game gets way better after chapter 3.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
The first 2 chapters are slow, man.
Yeah, I'm still like I think I'm near the end of chapter 2
Okay.
because every time I play it again, I can't play it for longer than an hour, especially like after work or something. Like forget
I
about it.
really stress going out to do all the side quests while you're going through each chapter, because otherwise you'll miss them,
Yeah,
which sucks.
I'm guessing they're gated beyond each chapter. I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's a lot of missable things.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sucks. But yeah, I don't really like the combat either. which is kind of a disappointment.
I don't mind the combat.
I mean,
it's fine.
Well, it reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto's combat.
I played Red Dead Online this week too, but it's no bueno.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I didn't want to jump into it because they announced that as part of the beta, there's a pretty good chance your progress won't carry over with when it officially releases.
I didn't play
so I'm like, I'm just gonna wait then at that point.
Yeah. It's not worth jumping in right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope to like by the time we do our game of the year next year, like at in a month, I hope to have at least finished it or gotten close.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of the Game Moose. But before we go, Drew plugs go.
I'm at T McBill on Twitter and go to www.game-boost.com for podcasts and et cetera.
The things and the stuff.
Yeah. You know, things about video games that you like.
Yeah. Brock, where can people find you?
I'm Brock. You can find me on Twitter at Brock McLaughlin or Brockstar Gaming, and I'm in LA all week, so I'll be doing weird shit there.
What up?
What up, LA?
You should go hang out with my friends. I'll hook you up with my buddies. I have good friends in LA.
Okay.
Nice.
We'll go skateboard.
Is that what you're
I don't
going
know
there
if
to
that's
do?
gonna happen.
Okay. What?
Is that what you're going there
Yeah,
to
I'm
do?
gonna
Is to go skateboarding?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna go pro.
Are you?
Actually, I'm going to the Game Awards to announce Skate 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, at least someone's gonna do that.
not Tony Hawk Ride 3?
No, it's Skate 4, baby.
Ride 3.
What-
Ride
I want
3.
Tony Hawk Underground 3.
What about a remaster of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5?
No, you have the Underground 3 you break Bammo to rehab.
The 4K X enhanced version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is coming.
Yeah. There's a secret. You can drive a ghost car for the first time ever, and you get to break Bammo to rehab. Nice. Yeah.
Excellent.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. You can also find us on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook at facebook.com/game_moose podcast, and of course on podcast services around the globe, as well as our YouTube page, all that good stuff. Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for listening to Game Moose episode 148 for Drew McMillan and Brock McLaughlin. I'm Ryan Turford, and we're out.
Garbage.
Garbage day.